I've had a very uncomfortable session earlier, where I just like didn't really want to play, felt tired, lethargic when I went in. I found myself like missing action a couple times, which even if it happened in some sessions I felt better on. That never used to happen when I was like sharp and locked in, maybe even like too hyper vigilant. But actually misreading the action even with these things. And winning pots just felt bad, losing pots felt like I was dying, and like paranoia was coming up. Basically a panic attack, I guess, from realizing that I had missed action. And then I started doubting everything and wasn't really fully playing poker, so just quit. I mean, it just was a panic attack. Um, and what gets me is like, that's always feeling going into it, but I don't necessarily realize how tense I am. But what brought that to mind is I realized how relatively relaxed I feel right now. Here I am, standing, focused. I am in the poker power position, memory associated. I'm free to move. I'm free to stretch my back. I'm not just like slunk in my seat trying to like take damage and like wait for the session to be over. I should never wait for a session to be over. I ought to play my session. You have to play your sessions. You don't just fucking sit through them. Like, get it together, man. Like, play your sessions. That's why you got into the game, is to play poker for a living, not to grind out fucking thousands of hands with no plan, no reference, no care in the world. Like, just ain't it. Like, if we're gonna get uncomfortable, but I don't mind. This is a trash bluff on the turn. Really nice of them to not bet eights or even like think about betting eights on the river, so we'll count our blessings. They weren't folding that one. Yeah, it's so important to have something on the mind other than winning or not losing, to actually play a hand with objectives, to actually be picking up information as you're playing, to be both learning from the feedback you're getting, but more importantly, actually being free and engaged to notice what you're feeling, what people are picking up on. What, if anything, has actually changed, and then what is just like your mind, your emotions kind of flying all over the place. And I find that's really tricky in poker because everyone is perceiving the game, but we're all perceiving it differently, noticing things differently. You know, you might make a mistake and you think everyone is now thinking that you're a bluffer or something, or that you're a punter, and no one actually noticed. Or you might miss something entirely and other people are adjusting to you and you can't tell. Or half the players at the table might notice something and the other half don't. There's all of these different perceptions flying around all the time, right? So we do want to be paying attention and updating stuff. But then it's so easy to be paranoid or to overthink that stuff as well. And I used to try to think my way out of that problem and just resolve it permanently. Not possible. So, not being able to resolve it, all you can do is play. Like, accept it and play. And I keep emphasizing play because, again, when it's a grind, when it's something I'm bracing for or I don't want to do, I don't want to do it, and I don't have to do it. So if I don't have to and I don't want to, I'm not gonna. Or I'm gonna do a bad job and bring myself out of it. That's part of why I self-sabotage. It's like, I'm not having fun. The way out is just say, fuck it, man. Pray for it to turn around. Wait for it to be over. When I do that in poker or any aspect of life, it's miserable and it makes it worse. I'm like, I'm too tired to put effort in. But sitting there hating it is way more draining than mustering the energy to do it properly and move on, or just to make the fucking decision to quit sooner, to just own it. Whatever it is, just own the decision. Just like make it, move on, live. Don't get stuck halfway. And it's the same in poker. You can't like bluff for the medium size between your small value and your big value. You can't like, sometimes you have to go all in. If you think they have a hand, they got a good hand, not a great hand, you got to go all in to make them fold. No half measures will work. You just have to commit. Like there's times to hedge, there's times not to hedge. Don't hedge on how to live your life like moment by moment, you know? Commit to living the moment as fully as you can, whether that means resting or making lunch or having a conversation or playing your fucking poker hand or checking out because you're just tired that day. Just do it fully. Don't be stuck doing something else in your head, getting ahead of yourself, getting lost in the past while what's actually happening is going on in front of you. Unless you're doing that again deliberately, like reminisce, you know. And again, I don't mean this in a don't do this, you should do this, focus on the grind set, like any of that. I mean from like a mental habit, like mental health. Don't be stuck in depression or anxiety type way. Don't let fear choose the life you live for you. That's all I mean. Because I'm tired, like all the times I froze up from anxiety, all the times I just like gritted my teeth and just like got through it or just tried to ignore a problem until it went away. Waste of time. I should have quit sooner. I should have played harder. And then at that point of choosing becomes real. Because if I choose to play, it's like, okay, now I'm playing. Now I have these feelings. I want to play. I'm playing, but I'm scared. I'm playing, but I'm angry. And then the feeling can be what it is, and I can accept both. It's not like I want to play, but I have anger, so I can't play properly, so I'll play bad, which is, you know, that's a clusterfuck. And of course, no one would do that consciously. I block the checkbacks, so I'm going to try a check call, but sometimes people just fucking value bet so rarely, and like who really bluff raises. Like this might be the sort of thing where I'm just always meant to bet. Yeah, pocket nines, fucking meant to bet, bro. You can't check back nines there. And so this is where just at 200 L, there's a mismatch there. And that's where if I beat myself up, if I'm like, side action. So if I notice that and those feelings then push me to take action, that's healthy. My emotions are now connected with my brain. I'm in a symbiosis. My whole organism is actually moving towards something. If those emotions bubble up and then get squelched down or they festered or I end up in conflict and I can't resolve them, so I disengage and then I quit playing poker or then I go on YouTube for an hour or play some other video game, then what am I doing? And so there's so many obstacles to that, right? There's infinite excuses, some of them reasonable. I don't know what to do with this feeling. I don't know what it means. I don't have a system to resolve this. It's hard. Yeah. Like, yes. Like, really? That sounded dismissive in tone. I don't mean it dismissive in tone. It's just, you know, I'm exasperated at myself. We just have to accept these things and act despite it. I'm tired of bottling up anger, especially in poker, bro. Like, it'll kill you. It'll kill you in poker. I think a lot of entitlement is just anger. Like, I feel like I deserve to win. It's like, maybe you fucking do deserve to win. But the anger isn't serving you. Like, why not get unlucky, deserve to win, and feel good. Crazy as that sounds, like, why not? Because if you're piecing all of it together, you know, if you're seeing what's really going on, then you're free to choose how to feel as well, to a certain extent. You get to choose what you do. You get to choose how you feel. You just might not be able to like choose it instantly, right? It might take some effort. It might take some commitment. It might take accepting of conflict. You at least get to try and move in a certain direction, right? So just to not get stuck in the festering and this endless spiral, because it's so easy just to like repeat the same patterns, to give up, to not notice, to assume that there isn't another way out, instead of, if you continue doing the same things, if you continue reacting in the same way, you will end up in the same place. So there's got to be at least some sort of growth, some sort of learning, some sort of new direction, new action, some sort of real change catalyzed if you're going to get real change. So if you are someone who never needs to learn a single thing in order to get where you need to be, and you're just waiting for it to press out, fantastic. But for most people, climbing the stakes, making money in poker, for example, you could get lucky one day and win $5,000 playing 1K. But can you play it tomorrow? Can you play it again? Can you play 1,000 hands a day for a month? That's the skill set you're actually cultivating and working on. So from an objective standpoint, from an outcome-oriented standpoint, from how do I make more money playing poker? How do I be a poker pro? How do I enjoy my career and my life more? To focus on the things we can't control, like variance, like getting cooled, or even like a series of decisions that we don't know how to answer, then beating ourselves up for not being able to answer them in the past. Like just all these different things. All of that, it can be masquerading as a way to try to be helpful, but I think it actually just keeps us in the same place. Let me just shame myself, bully myself, beat myself up to motivate myself to change. I'm not good enough. I'm going to make myself feel bad so that I do the right thing, so that then I can feel okay, is a really shitty operating system that I myself have, and I see a lot of other people have as well. Especially when, you know, again, triggered if there's like other just built up anger and stuff. Maybe you don't usually feel this way, but if you lose for a month or two at poker, steams up, you aren't as present in your life, that makes you care more about the poker results, and you just end up in this little festering thing of your own garbage, right? I'm speaking about poker because that's my context and experience. I don't think this is poker specific. It's just poker confronts you with it. And poker players are the type who are very likely to mentalize or intellectualize this sort of thing instead of actually engaging with the feeling as a demographic on the whole. So I propose that the alternative is, instead of festering in the garbage, is to accept all of it, accept the emotion, vent it like I'm venting it now, because I so rarely do this, and when I do, sometimes I post it online because who knows? Down with psychoanalysis. Can go too far. So instead of sitting in the garbage, feel all of it. Notice it, get it up, vent it, exaggerate it, whatever it takes to express it, and see what's going on underneath. Because if I'm getting chronically frustrated, it's usually me trying to make myself feel okay in a way that doesn't actually really make sense. It's like, I feel bad, and when I play I feel worse, and when I win it doesn't feel good. I need to win a shitload, and then I'll feel good. That's, I think, a misdirection that the mind plays. Like, yeah, you want 1 million and you feel bad, go win 10 million. Like, what if you get to 10 million and you still feel just as bad? That might kind of fuck you up, you know? And it will. And the money's just an example, just like any outcome, any level of skill, anything in the future where it's like, I got it, once I get there, I'll feel okay. Unless we're talking about actual survival needs, like now you can I don't know, get life-changing surgery or eat healthy food. Like, they can be real things. But for the majority of attainments, first world problems. Like, those certainly aren't the solution. And even things like, once I have a meaningful relationship, once I have more friends, once I have more recognition, once I'm in shape, again, these things can make you feel better to an extent. They can help. They're all part of a good life. But they're not like the solution to deep down feeling like something is missing in you. It's not going to make a feeling go away. Again, though it might help. So what I'm saying is that the emotional problem and the emotional distress, because most intense emotions and stuff are based on like early patterning and like conditioning, and they're not necessarily to do with much of what's going on right now. Like, the situation at hand is just the situation at hand, and we have a bunch of stories and narratives and feelings and beliefs that we sort of project onto what's happening now. I'm losing, I'm going to keep losing. I'm losing, it's because I'm a loser. I'm winning, it's because I'm great. Oh no, I lost, now I'm not great. Now what's happening? Like, and that can just be, again, like socialization type experiences, even early childhood, whatever. Or it can just be like, you had a fight with someone you care about, and now you have a losing poker session instead of addressing that, and you feel guilty about it. It can be any little thing. It can be kind of present, can be historic. So the emotional piece of the puzzle. I'm gonna try bluffing this one. I think they have a lot of ace queen, and I get to bluff that run out. Basically, if they don't have the 10, I think I'm good. We of course could just get trapped by something like kings. I'd expect kings to call, but we block like jacks. Okay. I need to just stop fucking bluffing these lunatics.